right, good morning, everyone. I want to give a shout out to Spotify. I wish I could play music. You know, it's such a bummer with live streaming. But shout out to Spotify. If you like country music, I'm guessing this is a new song. But Hot Beer by Dylan Carmichael. Very, very strong country music song. And a fun one. So anyway, give the guy some love. Dylan Carmichael, Hot Beer. I would play it for you if I could. But anyway, it was playing as I went live. Fun stuff, especially if you're a country music fan. It's a goofy song, but it had me laughing. Anyway, Myco asks about RNXT. One quick thing. Remember, the Rivian IPO, RIVN, is today. Remember, I typically guide you not to trade day one IPOs, but you know, my point would be, again, avoid day one IPOs, but would nice to see RIVN blow it out. You know, Tesla pulling back has kind of took a little bit of the air out of the EV sector. You know, I mean, EVgo was kind of my number one. EVgo never hit the idea or hit the buy point, but you know, I think if Tesla hadn't pulled back so hard yesterday, we would have had a better day in the EVs. So anyway, I say avoid Rivian day one. Wait for the chart to set up, but root for it. You know, we get a successful EV IPO. It could bring a lot of that emotion and a lot of that mania back to the sector. All right. That being said, Michael asks, 6 million float, 7 million shares traded, multi-month breakout. Oops, wrong stock. What did I click on? I clicked on RNXT. Sorry. What did I click on? RNXT. Was I looking at the right stock? Yeah. All right. I don't know what I did. I got click happy. So anyway, RNXT. I clicked on the long chart, so bear with me. Oh, nice gap up. Decent volume. Cancer news. Currently consolidating at VWAP. What's Oracle got to say? This would probably be... Oh, I see what I did. All right. Let me jump to Oracle and take a peek at this guy. Volume. Whoops, let me sort by volume. 1059 resistance. Intriguing. Let me drop the Oracle indicators on here. Let's do a little... Yeah, I don't hate that. So... Oracle showing major resistance at 1058. Stock currently consolidating around VWAP. I don't know if I'm prepared to call this number one, but you trade those 1050 breaks, you risk VWAP. I certainly don't hate this idea. So RNXT, nice Oracle idea. Resistance 1058. And I think a good risk would be VWAP, currently 950-ish. Yeah. Still early, but I don't, I got no, I mean, listen, if this is your number one, Myco, I don't mind this idea based off those indicators. Brian asked about BGFV. Man, what is up with my clicking today? I'm just all over the place. Big Five Sporting Goods. Oh, beautiful breakout. A volume yesterday. Not the best volume. So Brian, let me read you Brian's comments, because well done, Brian. I like your due diligence. So I want to read it. BGFV 40% short float, 20 million float, short squeeze breakout over all-time highs of 43.50. 100%. Brian, I like your due diligence. I like your plan. not in love with the liquidity. So here's where the boring old man comes out. I would say midday, late day, because I want to see, I can't do a volume forecast at this point when it's barely trading. I mean, look I've been talking about this thing for 2 minutes, and it's traded 22 shares in the 2 minutes I've talked about it. So in my opinion, I can't do a volume forecast on this thing. So I gotta wait for the market to open. I gotta wait to get through the kind of the rush of the opening day. Then I can do some sort of volume forecast. Does that make sense, Brian? Does that make sense, everyone? But 100% agree with your plan, agree with your statement. I just say midday, late day, because it just traded 16 more shares, so liquidity is an issue. So BGFV, I like this heavily shorted breakout, but midday, late day only. Gotta see if this gets volume. And let me increase my font size. There we go. Okay, Chris asked about LTRY. LTRY. Lottery.com. No volume. Sorry, Chris, no volume. I can't answer the question. Sorry. It's just 2,000 shares traded. It's nothing against your idea. It's just I can't give a read. Asana. Week open red to green. Woo! Yeah, definitely. I mean, remember, this is what you like to see. Closes at the high of the day, closes at 52-week highs. So this is borderline a textbook week open red to green. And why do we care about a week open red to green? Because we're looking for buyers to take control. Otherwise, if it fades all day, we let it fade all day. But you got a stock that's hot sector, technology, cloud computing, all these things we look for. It closes at a 52, closes at the HOD. That's exactly the type of action we look for. Then your buy signal, your confirmation is to see, the bidders step in, support the bid, and push this green. Standard supply and demand type stuff. So love it. And keep in mind, I know I tell you about the ebook all the time, but if you refuse to buy the $18 ebook, meanwhile you probably spent $18 on Cheetos and a half pint of McMaster's last night. If you refuse to spend $18 on the ebook, study this. This is exactly what you look for a hot, cool technology, hot sector, week open red to green. So there's value there whether you trade it or not. So AGC short squeeze. What's it doing this morning? I was never in love with AGC yesterday. I love SPACs. But just such a brick wall on this. See, I guess over 16 it's a confirmed breakout. So let me hit the whiteboard again. So, you got 1, 2, 3, you got 4 tops at basically 16. I guess I don't hate it. SPAC, decent volume yesterday. Maybe you take a 16 break, you risk red to green, or I'm sorry, green to red. I don't hate that idea. Again, it's another one. How many shares is it trading right now? Again, 200, I guess 300,000 shares isn't terrible for a $15 stock, but Probably like late day. I guess, similar to what we talked about on BGFV. It's got great volume, midday, late day. I think that's where you step in. Otherwise, if you take if you jump in this at 9:35 a.m. on low volume, you get dumped on, and then you could have just waited to see if it actually trades legit volume. And if it doesn't trade good volume, then you just, you don't touch it midday late. I don't know. Trying to think of a resource. I mean, understand volume. So, AABB is AABB. I mean, it's an OTC, but how did it? Trying to break out. Afternoon OTC swizzle. So, not confirmed yet, but this is an afternoon OTC swizzle gapper if it confirms the breakout. VRAR. My friends, sorry, no volume. Prague, What do you think about SoFi over 25? I tell you, and understand, this is nothing against any of you guys, but this should be telling you something, okay? I think, going back to my opening statement, I think everybody's waiting for like this Rivian IPO. Everybody's kind of waiting to see if Tesla bounces. So again, it's not against you guys, but notice everyone's bringing up these illiquid stocks. That tells me maybe there's nothing great out there. So just keep that in mind. SoFi, nah. METX, I mean, So I didn't like this all week. They just dropped the offering. So if, and it's a huge if, this goes green, I think you got to trade. Because, understand what this is. They dropped the offering. I mean, it's a really big if, okay? If this goes green on the day, I think you get a squeeze out of this thing. So, but it's a huge if. I would be inclined to tell you to ignore it. Sketchy Chinese stock. They raised the cash. But the only reason I say the big if, we know that bros love to trade or love to short these offerings, and we know they squeeze and they squeeze and they squeeze. So I kind of lean towards, again, let's see how the Rivian IPO does. Let's see if we get some activity out of the EVs. I just don't know. This is how I'm going to finish on METX. And you'll hear me say this on slower days. Today feels a little slower. Again, if METX is your best idea, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, listen, you guys are new traders. That's why you're here. You're here to learn. Okay, that's why I know I get, I can get a little ranty sometimes, but the reason I take these questions is, most of you are new. That's why you're here. I don't think Warren Buffett or Paul Tudor Jones are on this live stream, okay? If you are, what's up, Warren? What's up, Paul? But if METX is your best idea, maybe it's a day to do something else, Get some exercise, read a book, review your trades. So that's my opinion. Now, if by some chance it goes green, you probably get a quick spike out of it. So, all right, my friends. I would have to default back to, I think RNXT is air quotes the best. Notice the air quotes. I think the best thing to do on Wednesday, November 10th, 2021 is to dial back. Let's see what the Rivian IPO does. Let's see if we can get some afternoon electric vehicle action. You know, that's kind of my plan for the day. I mean, again, if you made me pick a number one, at least RNXT has rotated the float. At least it has some news. At least it has some volatility. So don't shoot the messenger. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. So, all right. Have a good day, my friends. And we will see you next time. Oh, man. I almost played Spotify. You got to remember that.